Hey guys, Autumn here, and today we are doing another one of these D&D storytime videos, and today we are focusing on Faraday. Faraday is my friend Kelsey's character in our campaign, and she is an Aasimar fighter, I believe. Aasimars, if you don't know, take on the appearance of humans, so she looks just like a normal person, but she has, I suppose, godly abilities. I'm not really sure. I'm playing an Aasimar in one of our campaigns myself, but I've never actually done much playtime as the character, so I don't know the full range of their abilities or what they can really do, but there are a couple stories that I'd like to tell about Faraday. So Faraday is an Aasimar follower of Helm, who is one of the gods. His symbol is a gauntlet with an eye on it, and apparently he has really cool powers. Not entirely sure, but Faraday seems to be relatively strong. She takes on the appearance of a human, as I stated. She is, I believe she's like moderately skin colored, so it's not anything crazy. She's not super tan, not super pale. She has blonde hair and hazel eyes. So one of the funny stories is when we first started our campaign, you may remember this from the Dalkin video, we ended up in a underground cavern type thing, and she saw the symbol of Helm on the wall, and decided to get down and begin to pray to Helm for guidance or just to see if she can get a connection with him. Not entirely sure what was going on there because I don't know all of her background at this point, but it was definitely interesting. Faraday was also charmed by our dear friend Dalkin and listened to every word that he said and followed every order he gave. So it was very interesting trying to deal with a charmed character when you are in a hatch leading down to this place, and it's a pitch black hole with a ladder in it that you're climbing up. My character Alexandra was not a fan of this and decided to yell at her because she assumed that Dalkin had escaped. Or that he had put something on top and Faraday was up there as well. Another fun story with Faraday is one actually involving my character Alexandra as well. So we arrived in a town of which I forget the name. It's probably in my notes, but I don't remember at this point. And we are staying at we are staying in an inn called the Warm Sands Inn, I believe, and there's a tavern connected to it. So what Alexandra and Faraday decide to do is to share a bottle of wine. Both of our characters don't drink. At least not very often, according to Kelsey's character, and Alexandra has never really drank before. So it was very interesting to see what would happen to our characters. We decided to drink the bottle of wine, and both of our characters ended up very drunk. Alexandra is a silly drunk, and Faraday is a flirty drunk. So Faraday begins hitting on anything that moves and or breathes, including my character Alexandra. It was very, very interesting, very fun, and we ended up being dragged out of the tavern by Fire Mom, aka Ambriel, who is our friend Kate's character, and she's a fire djinn, so that's why we call her Fire Mom, and I'll probably be doing a piece on her at some point. And we are being dragged out, and Faraday decides to plant a kiss on Alexandra in the inn. And we were very lucky that the inn is full of tabaxis who don't really care and apparently are all high on something, so they move super fast. It was very interesting, very enjoyable. So we did that, and then she also fell down the stairs at some point. I don't remember if this is before I did something very stupid or if this was after which, but... And then we ended up upstairs in, I believe it was Ambriel and Faraday's room. And we began to play Truth or Dare, except it was Honesty or Risk, I believe is what we called it instead. And decided that our characters would invent the game. Faraday chose Risk and decided to basically dare me to jump out of a 2-story window. Alexandra, deciding that this was a obviously brilliant idea, went to jump out the window and ended up somehow rolling enough dexterity to escape Fire Mom's grasp and rolling enough acrobatics to land with only taking 2 hit points of damage. And throughout all of this, Faraday is cheering her on and screaming, "Yeah, go, do it, woo!" and being very interesting. To include this in the story, simply because I don't know if I'll end up including it at another point, my character Alexandra then decided to hold up her bow with an arrow knocked at the sky and start screaming, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it!" And then get stopped by a guard, and then boop a guard on the nose. Now, my character is a drow, who are typically evil, so booping a guard on the nose with an arrow probably was not her brightest decision, but I don't think she cared, if that makes sense. So, overall, Alexandra and Faraday have very interesting adventures when they get drunk. They also ended up spooning each other in a bed, I suppose, and then they passed out because, yeah. We haven't returned to this campaign quite yet. We've been very busy with finals and things, but we have a feeling our characters are going to be extremely hungover by the time we get back to that campaign. So moving away from the Faraday stories now and more into the coloring part of this piece, I colored her hair with 2 yellows that I have because I don't have very many colors still. Hopefully that will be resolved for Christmas, as my family celebrates Christmas, so I know I'll be getting presents. So I used, I believe it's a buttercup yellow and another yellow. It's more of a cool tone yellow, and I tried to use them to balance each other out. And then I did her shirt with maroon, and it was either dark suntan or the other dark warm tone that I have. To do like a brown, she's wearing studded leather in our campaign right now, so it's supposed to look kind of like a leather shirt almost, but without the iron studs in it. I also did her skin a little differently than normal. I don't like the way it really came out. I didn't blend it as thoroughly as I'd hoped I could, but I know for next time how to fix it, so in the next piece, hopefully it will look better. And Faraday sports a braid on one side of her hair. I think I don't really know the reasoning. Kelsey would know the reasoning, but that's that. And I also did her eyes in a different style this time. I wanted to try something a little different for Faraday, simply because I feel like she would have a very intense gaze and be very interesting to look at her eyes. Her eyes are hazel, so creating hazel eyes with Copic markers is a little more difficult than just taking a picture of someone's eyes. So I put down a layer of green, then I took the suntan, and I used that to feather inwards on the green and kind of give it like a light brown. It was a little too light, so then I went back over it with, I believe, the maroon, and I darkened it up with that. And her pupils are also the dark maroon color because I don't like to do harsh pupils. I don't like it very much. I feel like it's very difficult to do properly, so I don't do it. This is me taking a break to look at my phone to ensure that I am coloring her eyes the correct colors. I do this a couple times. I apologize for that. But it's just to ensure that Faraday is correctly colored and looks the way that Kelsey imagines her. So I decided to do this texture on the eyes, and I also realized after I had finished filming and after I had already finished working on most of this video and finishing it up, I had not colored in her eyelashes. So her eyelashes are not finished in any of these photos, but I did go back and fill them in with black on the final picture, so all is well in that department. You don't have to let me know that I missed them because I am very well aware of it at this point. I also did something a little different with her lips. I did the top one a bit darker, and then the bottom one a mix of the dark pink that I used on the top and the light pink that I normally use for lip tones. And I decided that that would be the best way to go about it. So that's about all I have to say for this video. If you guys have any questions regarding Faraday, ask them, and I will try to respond back to them as promptly as possible, because I'd love to hear what you guys think of this character. Kelsey has put a lot of work into her, and I think she's a very interesting character. So let me know who you'd like to see next. We've got Ambriel, we have Zimmy, we have... I could do Alexandra again, I probably won't. And we have all kinds of just different scenes I could draw. Let me guys know what you think, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye everyone!
Hey guys, if you like this video, be sure to check out another one over there, and if you want to see the full playlist for this series, check out over here. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you like, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone!